I wrote this 8 Medium writing tips after writing 75 stories on Medium. But if you have watched my previous videos, you probably know already that I already wrote about 100 stories on Medium. I'm going to show you something. What are you going to do if your hair ended up too short and I look like a pineapple? You just hit record anyway and just stick with a plan. December 2023 was the month I started writing on Medium. Here's everything I've learned about writing 75 stories later. Number 1, introduce yourself. No, I'm not just talking about creating your profile on Medium. Everybody has that. You also need to write about yourself. Something that will tell your readers about you and what they need to expect from you or your content. Do this so people will know what to look for in your Medium profile or how to navigate it. Number 2, observe yourself as a reader. Doing this alone could really help you as a writer. Here's a question. When you encounter any stories or any article, what do you read first? What makes you decide to read further? Where do you go after reading a story you like? These are just some questions you could answer that will give you enough hints on what you would rather do as a writer. I wrote an in-depth explanation about this in one of my stories, and I'm gonna link that below. I'm gonna read it to you anyway, part of this story, connected to this tip. Imagine yourself as a reader, one who constantly consumes articles each day. You just love to read online content. You love seeking knowledge or idea, or you just simply like reading. What's the first thing you do? 1, you saw an interesting story. The title caught your eye. You say, oh, this is interesting. Let me read what this person has to say. After reading, you say, oh, I like that. Who is this person? And number 2, you check the person's profile and see if this writer has other articles or other stories. You say, oh, I like this. So you end up reading the other stories this writer has. Or, oh, I like that, you say. Then you give more claps. This is all about Medium, okay? When you're reading on the Medium platform. So claps somehow matter to some writers. And you say, oh, I like that. Let me comment. And then the next thing you know is step 3. You hit the follow button. Why? Because you liked what you read. You ended up liking the writer, and she happened to have a library of contents available for you to read on her profile. And that is why you are encouraged to write constantly, even if you don't feel like writing. It's somehow similar to the YouTubers. If you produce more and more videos, and for example, this person liked your content when they saw your video, they would definitely check out your profile and see who you are. And if they see you have a bunch of videos there, like a library of videos, you will somehow get more credibility or authority on that topic that you're talking about. So what matters is you create something. What matters is you build the habit. What matters is you have a library of 50 to 100 stories or more available for people to binge read, or available for people to binge watch if they find your profile. Now, imagine the opposite. What do you do when you find a good story, look into the writer's profile, and discover that he only had about 2 or 3 stories? You're more likely to lose interest, right? Like, you're gonna say, who is this person? He only wrote like 3 stories, unless you wrote on other platforms, of course. What's worse is if this writer hadn't written anything in weeks or months. Oh my gosh, that's what I've been doing. I haven't been writing in weeks because I'm building YouTube. I have a lot of drafts already. I have ideas in mind. I just don't find the time yet to write. I will after this one. If readers see that you don't have enough content for them to read later on, why will they follow you? Again, this is similar to the YouTubers. If they don't see that you're uploading any more videos, why would they follow you? People are constantly looking for value, what matters to them. You say, okay, I will write some more now. Thank you, but don't stop there. While you're at it, think about how you can make it easier for your readers to consume your stories. How can you make it easier for them to read what they need to read? The answer is to create a personal list of your stories you've authored. You create a library of stories categorized into a list so that when this reader reads your story, gets curious about it, and searches about you, it's easy for him to find a story in the same category. Then you will probably just get yourself another follower. Aside from writing a list, it's also great, as I mentioned earlier, to create a single post about navigating your profile. And it's pinned on your profile so that it's the first thing that the readers will see once they go to your profile. Example is this, what I did here. In this story, I introduced who I am, why I write, and everything I write about. I also included all the lists I created to categorize everything I have chosen to write about. So to wrap that up, make it easier for your readers to navigate your content by creating a reading list, and make their life even more easier by creating one post about you and your list. It's sort of like a combination of an introduction and your table of contents. Once you have that one reader who finds your story interesting, you'll be ready. I mean, you're content, your profile is ready. Number 3 is, I just told you about this. Create a list and write about them, just like what I did. Know that you can only do this if you already have a bunch of content. When you have a library of contents, it will be easy to go back to them and write about them. So if you still don't have enough in your library, just keep on writing. If you still don't have enough on your channel, just keep on making videos. Number 4, use tools that could help you write more often. Now that I've told you about writing more to build your library and eventually build authority online, you will, of course, need tools that will help you write more often. Be it a new keyboard that will get you more functional, like a Bluetooth keyboard that will help you write anywhere, even at a parking lot, while picking up someone and waiting for that person to get in the car. Or a new notebook, an iPad, just like what I always use. Or apps that could help you. If it's going to be worth it, just do it. And number 5, have a bird's eye view of where you really want to go. You could go back to this every time you find yourself stuck or unmotivated to write, move forward, or even move at all. Your goals will help you, and I recommend you read The One Thing by Keller to help you do this more effectively. If you want a quick look at how to set goals that eventually meet your ultimate goal, the Gary Keller way, here's another short story for you connected to this tip. If you want to proceed to the next step, just click chapter 6 below. Gary Keller said, "What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary?" My answer to that is writing. That's the reason I'm here. That's also the reason why you are here. Since I read Gary Keller's The One Thing, it has become my favorite self-help book. I've talked about it to my friends and recommended it multiple times to anyone who feels stuck or has trouble with decisions in life. So what is The One Thing all about? It's about goal setting. It's about how you're going to eat an elephant. It's about how it will be easier to solve your puzzles, your ultimate goal, because you already know the big picture. According to Gary Keller, this is how you set your goal to the now. Begin with your someday goal and work it down until you reach your goal right now. Here's how it looks like. You have your someday goal, your 5-year goal, your monthly goal, weekly goal, and right now. Daily goal and right now. You will go through this by answering the following questions. You will start with the someday goal or your ultimate goal, my ultimate goal. So what's that? What's the one thing I want to do someday? What's the one thing you want to do someday? And then based on your someday goal, the one thing that you want to do someday, what's the one thing that you want to do in the next 5 years? And then based on your 5-year goal, what's the one thing you can do this year? And based on your 1-year goal, what's the one thing you can do this month? And based on your monthly goal, what's the one thing you can do this week? And based on your weekly goal, what's the one thing you can do today? And based on your goal today or your daily goals, what's the one thing you can do right now? That's the Gary Keller way. Number 6, or this one, number 6, use a structure. Trust me, it's going to be really easy for you to write if you follow this. Not only that, it will also make it easier for your readers to follow your story. Some examples of these structures are the following. In most of this, like with the 3 W's, you always begin with a problem. You then present your solution, and then finally, you suggest what's going to happen next because of your solution. Here are the rest. Some examples of a structure. Number 1, what, so what, now what, or the 3 W's. Number 2, problem, solution, benefit. Number 3, comparison, contrast, conclusion, or the 3 C's. And number 4, past, present, and future, which is what I learned from studying for IELTS. If you want to know more about this, if you want me to teach you how to do it, I could create another video about this, focusing on these structures. So let me know. Number 7, know your scores. You must know about your Flesch Kincaid grade level and reading E scores. If you still don't know about this as a writer, I hope you'll have a couple of minutes today to at least learn about it. Once you do, ask yourself if your score still needs a little bit of improvement. If you don't want to do your research about that, I could just give you a simple introduction about this Flesch Kincaid grade level and reading E's. It's a widely used readability formula. It's about readability that assesses text approximate reading grade level. This is the Flesch Kincaid reading E's score and grade level. 90 to 100 is grade 5. 80 to 90 is grade 6. That's marked as easy. 7 to 80 is grade 7. 60 to 90 is grade 8 and 9. That's standard. 50 to 60 is grade 10 to 12. 30 to 50 is college level or difficult level. And 0 to 30 is college graduate. If your target audience is college students, you better score 30 or below. But if you aim to get 80% of the readers in the United States and you want them to finish reading your whole article, you have to keep the scores between 70 to 80, equivalent to grade level 8. An example of that, in Harry Potter books, the grade level of the Harry Potter books are about grades 6 to 9. So that's between 70 to 90 reading E score. Number 8, have faith. Your brain will help you get better and better every day. It's because of what you call neuroplasticity. I'm going to explain this on another video, all right? I'm going to focus on this whole topic in one video about neuroplasticity and how it will help you as a writer or in whatever career you want to do or projects you want to work on. The thing about neuroplasticity is you just need to create a habit, because the more you do it, the more you get better at it. It's like building a muscle memory, even though we don't have muscles there in our brains. For a recap, introduce yourself, observe yourself as a reader, create a list, use tools to help you, have a bird's eye view, use a structure, know your scores, and have a little faith. That's 8 medium writing tips. Next week, I'm gonna share another 2 videos for you. It's going to be about the New Year's resolution. How is it going to be more effective for you? This one. Oh, come on. There. And the other one is this one. Triggers and trauma. Overcoming subconscious scars. Come on, man. So those are the 2 stories that I'm going to share with you next week. I'll see you then. This is your neighbor Wam. Bye.